Hi, I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Hawa, and we're nutrition educators.
Thanks for joining us today on Tasty Tuesday on the Sun Devil Fitness Complex YouTube page. Today, I'm going to show you how to make tomato soup from scratch with basil. Here's what you'll need. 1 tablespoon olive oil,
1 large onion diced finely,
4 garlic cloves minced,
3 tablespoons all-purpose flour,
3 14.5-ounce cans crushed or diced tomatoes,
1 tablespoon tomato paste,
2½ cups chicken or vegetable stock,
1 tablespoon Italian season,
salt and pepper, and optional you can put in 1/2 cup of cream or half and half, or yogurt or sour cream or Parmesan or croutons, it's up to you. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is chop up my onion. I'm using about 1/2 of an onion, and this is a yellow onion. You can use a white onion too. I just prefer the flavor of yellow onion. And to cut my onion, I just chop about 1/2-inch slices, and then chop across the slice, about 1/2 inch apart, do a half turn, and then cut perpendicular slices to my original slices, and you've got about medium dice there. Onion is chopped. I'm going to put my olive oil into the pot, just enough to coat the pan. And olive oil can burn easily, which I had my pan on a little too high. Make sure when you put your olive oil in that the pan is about on medium or medium-low heat, because olive oil does burn pretty quickly. But as long as you get your product in there quick enough, it'll be fine. Now the onion is in, it'll cool down. I'm going to chop up my garlic really quickly. To peel garlic, I place the clove on the cutting board, place my knife flat down on the clove, kind of give it a little shove with the knife with your palm, and it makes it really easy to peel that garlic out. Kind of falls right out. I'm going to do a rough chop with my garlic. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to slice it through it real quick. Get that in the pan. We are going to put this through a blender and puree it, so it doesn't have to be small. Let's get our tomatoes in there. Now I got all 3 types of tomatoes just to show you that you can do any of these. I got diced, crushed, petite diced. Doesn't matter with this recipe, whatever you can get. I choose the cheapest usually. Because again, it's going to go in the blender, so it really doesn't matter what size it is. Next, I'm going to use 2½ cups of chicken or vegetable stock. I'm using vegetable because it makes this recipe vegan or vegetarian, both. That way, everyone can enjoy it, whether they're vegetarian, vegan, or they eat meat or dairy as well. So that's 1. 2½ cups. And if you have one, it's always best to measure your liquids out of a measuring cup like this, instead of the measuring cups that kind of come like this on a little ring. The ones that come on a ring are for dry goods. The ones that come in a big jar or glass like this is going to be for liquids. I'll just make it a little more accurate. Next, we're going to use a tablespoon of tomato paste. And then I'm going to season this with some salt and pepper seasonings. Used about 1/4 to 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt and pepper, and I'm using about 1 teaspoon of Italian seasonings. We're going to get that up to a boil, and then let it simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes and then put it in the blender and it'll be ready. This is my teammate Hawa. She works with nutrition educators with me, and she's also part of Pitchfork Pantry, and she has a little bit to share with you about that.
Right, so this recipe used some canned ingredients like diced tomato, and the Pitchfork Pantry is a student-run food pantry for ASU students and staff. All you need is your student ID card, and you can come in. We're on all locations, West, Downtown, Poly, and Tempe. And you just come in with your student ID, and that's it. You're welcome to pick up any foods you'd like, including those canned goods. You can follow them on Instagram for more information about their times and locations and their pop-up events that run throughout the campuses. It's at ASU Pitchfork Pantry.
So, thanks so much for sharing that, Hannah. Okay. So, our tomato soup has been simmering for about 5 or 10 minutes now. And a chef that I met a while back, he says you have to wait to let the flavors get to know each other. And so I think my tomato soup flavors have gotten to know each other. They're ready. So we're just gonna pour the soup. You have to be careful about this too. This is very hot. Do it away from your body. And you can do this in portions. You don't have to do it all at the same time. I'm going to do that just to make sure that I get an even consistency. And turn this on. We'll start it on low. Just stir a bit just to make sure everything is even in there. And then the very last thing you do is you put your basil in. I always put basil in last because boiling basil kind of makes it taste bitter. So you put it in last while it's still hot but not on the burner. Basil has a really, really strong flavor, so if it goes bitter, it's not really pleasant. I'm going to stir that through, and it is ready to serve. I'm going to serve this soup with a couple croutons on top and some Parmesan cheese. If you wanted this to be completely vegan, just the croutons. I found these croutons at Fry's, and they are garlic, onion, and parsley croutons from Simple Truth Organic, and they are vegan.
So this is the final product of the homemade tomato soup.
Thank you so much for joining us for Tasty Tuesday this week on the Sun Devil Fitness Complex YouTube page. Next week, we'll be making loaded veggie pot pies.
And be sure to follow the Pitchfork Pantry's Instagram. It's at ASU Pitchfork Pantry to keep updated on their pop-ups and their locations of when they're serving students.
Have a good day.